everybody. Dr. Carmen Bryant here, overcoming narcissist abuse. How are you guys doing? Thank you guys. I know I'm back. Oh my gosh, you did a second video. I am. I did another video this week because remember we're getting, to a point. It's June. The conference is next month, July 31st. So I'm going to come on. I'm going to promote the conference, but I'm also going to do a video and answer some questions that were being sent to me. And so before I start, allow me to say today I just wanted to discuss some of the topics that will be discussed at the conference, which I already talked about on the last video about my big brother Marcus Monroe and what he's going to talk about, where he's going to be talking about this new group of narcissists that are training narcissists, and they're training men on how to prey on women, how to pursue them, how to conquer them, how to control them. And so he's going to be telling you about this new secret group of men that are doing this. And his what he focuses on is teaching women the is it the power of, but he's teaching women what is it called? The law of mentality. But he's going to be discussing this group and how to protect yourself. Because ladies, some of you guys are just so desperate to get out there and get a man that you don't realize, oh my gosh, this is a high value man. This is a man with 6 figures. This is that. There's a whole network of them, and he's going to teach you about that. This is his topic. This is what he does. And then, of course, I'm going to have a good friend of mine. Her name is Bridget Griffin. She is the YWCA. This is King County, Seattle, Washington. She's the domestic violence victims legal advocate. And she advocates for victims and survivors in the court system. But she's going to be coming and talking to you because I see a lot of questions that you guys ask me, a lot of comments, and your focus is off. So some of your focuses are off about what to discuss in the courtroom. And some of you are so focused on making sure that you can convince the lawyers and the judges that you are married to or have children by a narcissist. I've had people ask me to be an expert witness on coming to explain to the judge and the lawyers about narcissists and narcissist abuse. Well, judges don't want to hear that. And she's going to teach you what not to do when you go in the courtroom, what the judges are looking for and what they're not looking for, how to look for a lawyer, what to look for, and the questions to ask when you are looking for a lawyer to help you in your case. She's even going to talk about, as a matter of fact, she's even going to talk about parental alienation, how that works in the courtroom, but parental alienation. And so she's going to come, she's got a plethora of topics that she's going to talk to you about. And so I'm telling you guys, don't wait till the last minute to register, because as we're filling up, and as I'm, especially for VIP, to make sure that the limousines are available to you, and that we have enough limousines. If it's just one and we have, a certain amount of groups, or if I have to get 2, to make sure for VIP that they get escorted after the conference. The conference is July 31st. There's a flyer. You'll see the flyer right up underneath this video. You'll see the link where you can go register. The flyer is on my YouTube channel, my Facebook, and my Instagram with the link to go register. Go register. Now, this is a $3,500 event, and especially with the substance, the type of information that you're getting, you're not going to get just anywhere. And then the professionals that you have coming to talk to you. And then, of course, I'm going to be doing a lot of the teaching as well, because we need to get to the root of the problem. Some of you guys are going through the same thing. It's like you guys are going around Mount Sinai 40, 50, 60 years. And some of you guys have been stuck in this cycle, and some of you guys are out, but you're still stuck in a cycle. You can't break the cycle. Well, in order to break a cycle, you have to understand the root of some issues. Why do you keep drawing the type of people that you're drawing? Why do you keep dating the type of people or marrying the type of people that you marry? First of all, we got to get to the root of the problem. The root of the problem starts with you. I'm not saying you're the problem, you deserve to be abused. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not justifying the abuse. However, but we have to demagnetize you. In order to demagnetize you, we have to give you information concerning what it is that's drawing you to these type of people, because a lot of times people are broken on the inside based off of where they come from and the experiences that they had growing up. Now, some of you say, I had good parents, they didn't abuse me, they didn't do this, they weren't narcissists. Yeah, but they had a particular parenting style. Some parents guilt parent, some parents parent out of fear. But there's certain types of parenting styles that develop certain type of attachment styles, which some of you have a particular type of attachment style. Then not only that, you also have particular type of love languages. And it's not that you have to go on the computer and do a love language test and give it to the narcissist. They pick up on your love language. And so we're going to discuss that. Then we're also going to discuss the types of manipulation. And like I said in all the other videos, oftentimes we always talk about the somatic, the cerebral, the covert, the overt, but we never really talk about the type of manipulation. What does that manipulation say about the manipulator, and what does that manipulation say as to what they're trying to achieve? Because once you recognize it, you won't play into it as often as you played into it. And some of these, manipulation is not always a narcissist that manipulates, but people are manipulative, but you'll pick it up. Kids are manipulative to get what they want. They're going to play with your emotions. And manipulation is based on emotional because your emotions are being manipulated to get you to change your perspective or your behaviors. Excuse me. In a very deceptive way to get you to do something that you would not normally do, to act out of character. So this is the kind of stuff that we're going to be talking about, but you don't want to miss Miss Bridget Griffin, because she's going to be talking and answering a lot of the question. Not that there's going to be open for question and answers at that particular time, but she's going to be answering a lot of questions that you guys have about how to find a lawyer, parental alienation, what not to say in the courtroom, what the judges do not want to hear. Some of you guys want to make sure you prove your case. I got to tell them, but a lot of you mess your own case up like that when you go in and present your cases. But she's going to give you that information. It's valuable information. Now, the question that I was asked, you got to excuse me, I'm always in my face and my hair. But so I had a question on YouTube, and the question was by Miss Ashley. Hopefully I don't butcher your name. Please forgive me. Ashley Roe or Rayo. I'm sorry, I don't recall, because I was looking at your first name, Ashley. But Ashley asked this question, and she wanted me to make a video or address when you have a narcissist mother and a narcissist daughter, and it appears they get along quite well. They do the same things. They get along quite well. And the narcissist mother has sabotaged her own marriage, lost her own marriage, and now the daughter is sabotaging her marriage in order to cater to the narcissist mom. And the daughter is actually, I don't know if you said it was a primary care provider or provides for the narcissist mother. Okay, so let's go back. I'm going to slow it down a little bit, because go back and look at some of my videos. And I'm going to address some of the things, just to bring to you remembrance some of the things that I've said. Now, number one, you have to remember that in a narcissist home, and is obvious, there's a narcissist mother. So in a narcissist home, that means each of the children play a specific role. You have the scapegoat, you have the golden child, and when it sounds like the daughter is the golden child, you have the lost child, you have the jester. There are different roles that each of the children play. Now, keep in mind that each role that the child plays, later on as they grow up, a lot of them in each role can develop narcissistic personality disorder. They can develop it. Some do, some don't, but they can develop narcissistic personality disorder. Now, it sounds like that this daughter was or is the golden child. Now, she may not have always been the golden child in the family, or she may have been, either or. She could have been the scapegoat, because narcissists do that too. When the golden child does not, comply with the demands that the narcissist has, they can become the scapegoat, and they'll turn that triangulation. They'll turn all the family onto her or him, or in this case her, and antagonize her or abuse her, misuse her, make her feel less than, until she gets back into compliance, and then she becomes the golden child again. So it sounds like that she is the golden child, the favorite from the narcissist, but as they're growing up in the family, they're being groomed to make sure that they provide for the needs of the narcissist, even until an older age. And so you remember, when you're dealing with females, you deal with a lot of emotion, nurturing. So she's probably being made to feel like you're the only one I can depend on. That you're my favorite child. I can't believe that you would treat me this way. Blood is thicker than water. And I understand that you have a husband. Now, keep in mind that mother narcissist has already sabotaged her own relationship, whether she was in the relationship for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, that there is, situationship. She's already destroyed her own situationship. They don't have good relationship with people. They can't have good relationship. Even in a narcissistic, and many of you guys have talked about it, in a narcissistic marriage, it's not a happy marriage. It's always full of fuel and anger. And so a narcissist cannot have a normal relationship. There's always something that they have to get out of it. They don't see people, they see people as objects to be used. They look at them as sources of fuel, of their supply and their sources of fuel. I need to be fueled. And then especially now, if she's an aging narcissist mother and she realizes that her primary supply, which was her husband, is gone, she needs to be taken care of. She needs, so what she'll do is you're my daughter, you're responsible, you're whatever. Whether she has other children or not, but that's the one that's easier to pull. And now this daughter, who is also the golden child, has lived her life always trying to get affection and attention from the mother, still doing it now. And as a narcissist, she's now looking for fuel from her mother. So they're fueling each other. Now, remember, and she's a narcissistic daughter, so she's in a relationship with someone that may not be a narcissist, so he's being used. But he is an object, to maintain her lifestyle, to make sure she's supported as well. But she's following in the steps of her own mother, because remember, the narcissist mothers live vicariously through the golden child, and they make sure that they plan their life. They don't have the freedom to choose. They don't have the freedom to be themselves. They always have to comply with the narcissist, or the narcissist is going to punish them. It's this, I can't think of the name of it right now, but they're being trained to follow the instructions and the guidance in order to be rewarded, that punishment and reward system. And so if she doesn't comply with the mother will throw a hissy fit. The mother will show out. The mother will get emotional. The mother is going to dog the daughter out. I can't believe you would do me like this. I'm an older woman, and you and what my children, you're the only one. But see, they throw in compliments at the same time they're throwing in insults. And so you're the only one, and you're the one that's got a degree. You got this and that, this. And I'm thinking you're the only one that has some sense. And what would people think if you treat your mother like this? And then coming into her home, she's going to dominate the home. Everything is based off of what that mother narcissist thinks, how she feels, how she does things. So that means now that daughter is siding with the mother in order to keep the fuel coming. So in order to make sure she complies with the rules that she has been taught, those undiscussed rules that she has been taught since childhood. And now the narcissist mom may be in her home. So she's in her home. She's still complying to the rules that narcissist mother has laid out for her since the time she became the golden child when she was a young child. So now she's in her home. The man has no say. The husband has no say, because you have two narcissists siding together. So if he, and it's not that he may be rude or ugly to the mother-in-law, but he may put his foot down and say, okay, this is my house. I'm paying the bills. This is what happens. And so, of course, you have the narcissist mother now speaking to the narcissist daughter and telling her, your husband is like this, smearing his name. And, that's very abusive, because that's what I went through when I was in the relationship, and she could have been the abuser. But that's what I went through in my relationship, and I don't want to. Now she's going to look like the savior, and I don't want that to happen to you. And because it happened to me, and you don't want him to be controlling. No, it's because now they're having to be accountable. And so the daughter's feeding into it, like, you don't treat my mom like that. My mother's an old lady and blase, and she does this. She may do just enough to say that she does this, she does that. And so remember, you have this terrible cycle. So it doesn't just work within a romantic relationship. It's the same thing within a narcissist parent to child relationship. And it may appear to you that they're getting along, but trust me, there's a lot of pressure for the daughter to have to comply with and make sure she maintains. And then you have to remember that a narcissist is always unstable. They don't know what they want. They tell you stand up, you stand up. They don't want you to stand up, you sit down, because there's not enough energy, there's not enough power, is not enough fear that they are inflicting. There's not enough fuel I'm getting from you. You're too compliant. I need some type of reaction. I need fear. I need some type of reaction from you, because this is too easy. This is too much. So you have to remember that it is a power and control relationship. And of course, is going to look happy. She's going to say wonderful things about her daughter as long as her daughter complies with her demands. The moment the daughter steps out of line by thinking for herself, siding with her husband, immediately the smear campaign starts, the abuse starts, the verbal abuse starts to put that daughter back in place. Now, this is two narcissists. So imagine when the daughter is offended by the mother, she will launch a smear campaign as well. So this is back and forth. So do you see the dynamics? And then on top of that, it looks like you got these two narcissistic women who everyone is at fault. Everyone has a problem. Everyone, because they're perfect, and I raised you better than that, and you're the only one that I raised to have sense, and everybody there, and you don't correct them. You don't correct them. You don't tell them where they're wrong. You don't hold them accountable, because then you are abusive. You're abusive because you have boundaries, and you have abusive because you won't comply to them. So because you won't comply to them and follow their lead, you're the abusive one. You're the one with the problem, especially the poor husband. He's the one with the problem, and he's abusive. He's just like the rest of the men. And I'm telling you, these are the traits. These are the traits. Hopefully that answered your question, but it's not the fact that they look like they're getting along. They're doing the same thing. They're narking, so they're doing the same thing. They're abusing people the same way, and they feed off of each other. So imagine two narcissists. Remember, when a narcissist is looking for a relationship with someone and they're love bombing, they're expelling a lot of fuel in order to pull you. That's why when a narcissist has to expel that much fuel, it's like an aircraft having to dump fuel. Well, when that aircraft dumps fuel to lighten up the load, that means it has to land immediately. You can't dump that much fuel to lighten the load and you think you're going to keep flying. Well, they're dumping all that fuel in order to pull you in, but you owe them. And they don't forget, if I'm doing all this, you owe me. So when I want this, you will pay me back. Well, they're doing the exact same thing, but just imagine as they're where they're releasing all this fuel, each one of them are getting the fuel from each other. So imagine in their mind, they're thinking that this is love. These, oh my gosh, I'm being fulfilled in every kind of way, and oh my God, this is so wonderful. Yeah, they're letting go a bunch of fuel, but they're receiving a bunch of fuel in return. So they're just feeding off of each other, and it's like two roaches fighting with each other. I know it sounds bad, but it's like roaches just fighting against each other. You see them roaches fighting and everything. You're like, but you're roaches, but that's what you got, two roaches fighting with each other. So it's sad to say that, and it sounds almost disrespectful when you're dealing with people that have personality disorders within the mental health field. But that's the best way to describe what is happening. So it's not the fact that they're getting along so well. It's the fact that they're doing the exact same thing and they feed off of each other. They're fueling off of each other. They're getting the ultimate amount of fuel from each other, feeding off of each other. And that's what they're doing. One of them is more dominant too. Always remember, when you have two narcissists in a relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship or a mother-daughter, father-son, father-daughter, whatever, one of them is always going to be the more dominant narcissist. And it sounds like the mother is the dominant narcissist and the daughter is the lesser of the two narcissists because she's dominated by her mother. Hopefully that answered the question. So if you guys can, please make sure, go share the video. Share the video because people need to hear this. People need to understand what they're going through. Stop trying so hard to diagnose people. Stop trying to diagnose people all the time. Just take the toxic behavior or that nasty behavior and just take it for what it's worth. If they cheat on you one time, they're going to cheat on you again. Now, some of you, I understand, not everybody is a narcissist. So sometimes we make a mistake. People have made mistakes. They have fallen, they have cheated, and things have gotten better. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, and some of you guys are trying to figure out whether they are, 9 times out of 10, there's already red flags in the behavior prior to that. They've already been cheating. They've already been doing this. They've already been doing that. So they've already got other red flags that let you know that they are not who you think that they are. Whether they're narcissists or not doesn't matter, but they're telling you who they are. They hit you one time, they're going to hit you again. Now, some of you guys, well, that's not in my case. He hit me one time. We went to counseling. He realized how terrible. Probably not a narcissist. If they changed, probably not a narcissist. But you guys have to be aware. You don't give people all these chances because you're training them on what is acceptable to you, narcissist or not. But you're training them what you accept and how much you're going to accept, because it gets higher and higher. They hit you once, they can hit you again. They slap you, next time their body slap you. You know, narcissists cheated. I'm gonna cheat again, but this time it's gonna be worse, and it just spirals out of control. It just gets worse and worse with time. There are some people that have told me that, you know, it's sad, I grew up with my family and they were never this bad at one point in time. Now that they're older, it's like they're terrible, they're horrible, they're worse. They've never been this bad before. Narcissist grows. You know, when I say grow, I don't mean grow and growth like us learning and growing. No, but with time, they just get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. But like I said, you train them as to what you accept and what you won't accept. So they know how to push the limits with you, and they know how to love bomb you back. So you can't accept everything. And then ladies, gentlemen, you too, you know, she's not your mom. She's supposed to be your mate, not your mother. You already had a mother. She doesn't need to come in and tell you what to do. Gentlemen, you cannot let a woman dominate you. Now, true enough, I understand there are people that do believe in hierarchy in the families. I'm one of those individuals that do believe, you know, the kings are the men of the home, but I do not believe that you have to dominate. You know, when there are major decisions, you come to the queen, you guys discuss it and everything, you know, especially if he's the breadwinner, or even if the woman is, you know, the breadwinner. That's just how I believe, you know, and I do believe that the man is the man of the house, is the king of the home, you know, but you don't make major decisions when I involve me in your major decision, and you're not going to mistreat me or manipulate me to make me change my mind about something. So we have to come to a happy medium. We need to discuss it, but you don't have to abuse me. You know, if that's something that you want to do, okay, if this fails, then you are responsible and accountable to the family, then you need to go and fix it as well. So I do believe in that. Not everybody believes in that. People believe in shared responsibility. I believe in shared responsibility as well. You know, I think I was reading somewhere on Facebook, if you pay for the dinner, I don't have a problem tipping. You know, if you cook, I'll wash the dishes. Or if I cook, you know, help me out, wash the dishes, take out the trash. If I wash the clothes, you know, fold them up. Some men are not like that, ladies. Some men are really not like that, and you have to find your happy medium to how you make your household work. It doesn't work for everybody's household. You just have to find your happy medium. But when you have somebody where you become the slave, where you are supposed to be there at their every beck and call, and then you're doing everything, and they're not, and you realize in your mind they always excuse it or justify why they're not doing or helping or adding to, and it seems like you're the one that's always doing everything. You know, everything, male and females alike, doing everything. And it seems like they never help, but every time you bring it up, it is justified. Come on, you guys have to make a change. You set the standard. You set the standard, you know, as to what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And there are some things that are just not acceptable. And you don't give people that leadway, well, they might change. You know, that no, you guys have been, most of us that are on this channel are not young people. You've been through enough where you know, okay, enough is enough. I'm just, you know, I'm not going to get a Build-A-Bear. She's not a project for you, and he's not a project for you. Women, stop dominating these men. If you're not a narcissist, if you're a narcissist, that's just what you do. But men, you should not be dominated by a woman. There's nothing wrong. See, and that's why Marcus Monroe is going to teach you about this, because people take it to the extreme. And when not, you better not be dominated by a woman and blah, you handpicked or whatever they call it. No, there's a difference when there's mutual respect. When there's mutual respect and you love and you care for each other, it's a mutual thing that goes back and forth. But men, you should not be dominated by a woman where a woman tells you what to do and how to do it and when to do it and speaks on your behalf, and you can't speak for nobody, and they tell you what job to get and what job not to get when things fail, and then they blame it on you, but you don't have the mind for yourself to go do what you need to do. And neither should a man dominate a female. She's an individual person with her own mind. She may make more money than you, and she may not, but you still honor and respect her as a beautiful rose that we are, the beautiful roses and flowers that we are, you know. But that's in a, when I say healthy, meaning a non-abusive relationship. But we're going to talk about that at the conference. So don't wait to the last minute to register, because as we get closer, I have to shut it down so my team can work on, you know, the people that are coming, the people that are going to be online. And I've gotten your registrations. I did make some calls. I did not get a chance to call yesterday, but I will be calling again to those that are VIPs. And I email those that have registered for the general and the online. So don't wait. This is a $3,500 event. especially with the type of information that you're getting. But I'm giving it to you for $280 for general admission, $300 for VIP, and then $200 online. And what that includes is an all-day event from 8 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. in the evening with a working lunch. Those that are there, you will get a Greek buffet. And we want to make sure we get the head count. We got to get the head count, make sure that you eat and get full. But we will have a working lunch, because at lunch is when Miss Bridget Griffin and Mr. Marcus Monroe will be speaking. You have myself that will be speaking throughout the event. And then you will have my big sister, Kathy Gibson, with her program, My Life is Intentional. Awesome lady. I love her. She's my big sister. She's a phenomenal woman. And of course, my spiritual mom, my leader, my pastor, and you guys know her as Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, and some of you guys know her as Apostle Helen Sadler from Into His Chambers Global Ministry. This is not a church event. This is an Overcoming Narcissist Abuse event, and the title of it is Hidden in Plain Sight, Exposing the Secrets. You guys need to know the secrets in order to unlock your own life. And some of that means that we have to unlock and go to the root of the issue. So I want you guys to come out. When you come out with your tissues, because I'm telling you, there's going to be some healing. If you miss the event, I'm going to make sure that I ask for permission for them to talk about the event so you don't miss it the next time we come out. Because next year, I'm still going to do Dallas, but I would like to add Atlanta in there. And so I appreciate you guys. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit all so you know whenever I come on live, and make sure you share this information with someone. Someone needs it. You never know. There are people around you that are going through it that have never said anything to you. And then when they start watching these videos, it gives them the confidence to finally speak up and say something. If I had that happen 1,000 times, but people around you are going through it and you don't even know, because you're looking at it at this wonderful relationship and these are my relationship goals. This is what I want to do. You guys are my favorite couple. Oh my gosh, you guys are the bougie couple. And when I grow up, I want to be just like y'all, not realizing that that is an image that's being maintained by a narcissist. And you don't know what the hell that they're going through at home. You don't know the hell that they're suffering in the home. What they're going through emotionally. Some of these people, this is not their first rodeo, their first round with a narcissist. So you guys make sure you share the video, because you never know who needs to see this and who is secretly watching it. There's a lot of people watching these videos in secret that you don't know anything about that they're watching. Make sure you also subscribe to my spiritual mom, Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper, and make sure you share her videos. And also, if you need coaching, contact me, and I will give you my fees and my rates if I have availability, so that you can get some help. And on top of that, if you need counseling, some of you guys need counseling before you get coaching. Coaching is not counseling. Coaching is not going to address mental health issues, emotional issues. They help you get to one point to another, but they're not going to deal with the referring you out, or talking to you about med management, about PTSD, complex PTSD, that psychotherapy that you need in order to help you with that emotional, talk to you about different medications, refer you to med providers, work with your med providers, provide you with assessments if there's availability. Some of you guys need counseling. Now, I am partnered with BetterHelp.com. You can contact them and get a discounted rate by using my link, BetterHelp.com/Dr. Carmen. They'll give you a 10% discount. If you let them know you're having some money issues, they will work with you. They will work with you to make it affordable for you to get help. And people, don't be afraid to get help with counseling. It doesn't make you a weak person. What makes you weak is trying to figure it out by yourself and hide it and suppress it. It's not a weakness to go and look for help. Don't let people tell you that counseling is for weak people. That's when you can't resolve your own issue and it shows that you're weak. No, it's not. You need therapy. And some people have come to therapy and like, this is the best experience I've ever had. They made me feel like it was weak if I were to do that. Or sometimes people don't want to go to counseling because they don't want to hear what the counselor has to say. Go get counseling. BetterHelp.com/Dr. Carmen. Check out the link underneath my video so that you can register for the upcoming July 31st conference, Hidden in Plain Sight, Exposing the Secrets. It is the Overcoming Narcissist Abuse Conference. It is in Dallas at the Hilton Dallas Lincoln Center. If you do not have a ticket, I'm not selling tickets at the door. There, you cannot pay at the door. And when the ticket sales stop, the ticket sales stop. But you cannot come. You have to have this a ticketed event. When you come, I don't care if your mom, dad, sister, brother, cousin, first cousin, baby daddy, your children, whatever. If they don't have a ticket, they cannot come into the event. So you have to pre-purchase. You have to purchase the ticket and register online with that link. Because if you show up there dressed up and all cute and everything, you're not going to get into the event. I'm telling you, it's a $3,500 event. This right here is actually a snippet of my program, the coaching program. That coaching program is $29.97 when it comes out. It's a 5-week course. There's a 5-week program with so it's a 5-week program with 5 modules. So it's 25 modules in this 5-week program, and it's $29.97. But you guys are getting it for $280. $300 and $200. And then on top of that, the reason why you're getting it at that rate is because you're also being fed that day for lunch. You're also, and it's from 8 to 6 a.m. 8 to 6 p.m. And on top of that, we're going to make sure you have drinks and coffee and whatever you need while you're in there. And those that are doing VIP, you will be escorted to a restaurant. We're going to go to a steak and seafood restaurant at 7 that evening. And we're going to travel. You will be escorted by limousine to go dine with me as my special guest. And so I appreciate you guys. You guys go and be